anxiety of are we covered is a real thing, and I think if people don't stress about that kind of thing, they can actually focus on it.
No one reads legal documents manually anymore. True or false?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would have thought so. Yeah, highly. 90% chance, 100% chance. And they were saying that I would be fined if I think it was £1,000 or something like that.
Come to my company in the UK for the first time, and I have to apply for VAT. Right? I applied it online, and then I received a letter stating that I have to pay around £1,024.
It's so awkward. It's just things like, oh, okay, you want to open the app for the first time. We need to send you a letter. You know, somebody like myself, or anybody with an idea that solves a real world problem. Legislation that's come out, like with a Section 21 where you get a £40,000 fine. I wouldn't be surprised in the future if everybody their own personal agent, and that agent then. It's one of those things, right? You can't necessarily point at them and say this is the reason why they're difficult to understand. I think ideas, essentially what AI has done is it's broken down the requirement for skilled workers in many different fields, whether or not it's accounting or market research.
If you could put one sentence on every entrepreneur's walls, what would it say?
Yeah.
They are kind of easy. Don't worry too much about it.
I think so many people have good ideas and then run with them, and then life takes over. It doesn't matter if you're 5 minutes in front of a computer. If you feel that your day-to-day life is complicated and more complicated than it needs to be, if you're worried about fines, certifications, regulations, and not knowing what to do, our competitors are charging £200 a month, and they provide you with a PDF. We do all of that from as
What if the biggest threat to your business wasn't competition, but a letter you never opened? Every year, thousands of businesses lose money because they miss renewals, forget complaints deadlines, or simply don't understand government paperwork. Today's guest is building something fascinating. Imagine having an AI powered chief of staff that watches your regulations, chases your contracts, tracks rule changes, and tells you exactly where you stand every morning. Could AI eliminate bureaucracy? Can complaints become invisible? And in the world moving faster than ever, why are businesses still drowning in paperwork from the 1990s? Stay till the end because this episode might completely change how you think about running a business. Welcome to the podcast, buddy. Welcome to the Founders
Thank you.
Room.
Thanks for having me, and thanks to whoever's watching. Yeah, brilliant.
So, to be brief, there are two segments in this. Segment one
Sure.
is about more of yourself, and segment two is more of what you're building, right?
Okay.
And in the middle, I have few game sections as well, where I ask like a rapid fire or something, some games like that. You okay
Yeah.
with
Okay.
that?
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good. So I would start by asking if I could see your desktop, your inbox, and your calendar right now. What would they tell me about who you are?
So I mean, I run two businesses. So I have my events business, and I also have Stripback. So if you were to open up my inbox now, you would probably see a lot of emails from Sentry, which is a like a validating tool that sort of that tells you if there's any issues. I'm doing lots of testing at the minute, so yeah, lots of emails kind of coming in and back and forth with customers, very early days customers, membership bodies and that kind of things for housing and property.
Yeah.
So that as these are the businesses that I want to go ahead with, getting for my customers.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Do you? I mean, do you have properties over there in England?
Do I have properties? No, I have. No, I don't have any properties at the moment. But the business basically specialises in certification and compliance for properties in the hospitality industry.
Because I had a tough time finding a property when I was in England, so I asked
Yeah,
you that.
yeah, it's really hard. I'm trying. So I live in Plymouth at the minute, but I'm trying to move to Newquay, which is like a coastal town, and it's super hard. It's
Yeah, yeah,
unbelievably
yeah.
hard.
I know.
Yeah, it's where everybody
And the
wants to
rent,
live. Like everybody wants to live by the seaside. This is it. So
true.
it's just got my work cut out for me.
And there is only limited place to live over there.
Yeah, it's so limited. Yeah, for sure. I I really want a place not far from the beach, if I'm honest,
Yeah, yeah,
because then I can have a good balance between uh, working and spending time outside. So
yeah, yeah. I mean, you might have been aware of Blackpool, right? So I used to
yeah, I've heard
stay
of
near
Blackpool. It's not
Blackpool.
far from Preston. Yeah, yeah,
No, no, it's around 30 minutes journey. So
yeah,
yeah, it was a fun time living there. But
yeah.
yeah,
You got the big roller coaster. You got the Big Dipper, right?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It is. It is
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
place.
I've been there a few times.
Yeah. So, what kind of a child were you growing up?
Um, as a child, I've grown up. I was friendly, approachable. Um, I lived in a village out on the outskirts of Birmingham. Um, Shy, I guess, to a
Yep.
certain degree. And my parents separated when I was around 2 years old, so I was always between my mum and my dad, and they lived about 300, probably maybe about 500 kilometers away.
Yeah.
So yeah, a bit. Yeah, I mean, is it? I would say quite shy and friendly. I'd probably say, if I'm honest with you.
So, I mean, I'm sharing my experience like you're kind of complete opposite of people. I mean, kids in England currently. So,
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
not everyone
maybe.
is. Yeah. Sorry.
No, carry on. Sorry.
Sorry. I'm just saying that not everyone is like that, but most of them are kind of rebellious. So,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it's a different generation. I mean, I'm 38 now,
okay.
so I'm sure it's very different for kids now. Kids have all got screens and social media and all that kind of stuff now. When I was young, it was,
Yeah.
you would knock on your friend's house and go and hang out with them. We lived in a small village, and so we were kind of isolated. So um, yeah, different times. The internet completely changed everything.
What was your dream before becoming an entrepreneur?
My dream before becoming, to be honest with you, I really loved traveling, and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. In all fairness, I kind of like looked at the job prospects that are out there, and um, I wanted to. I work. I DJ, so I wanted to be a music producer,
Yeah, yeah.
and DJ and make a living doing that.
Hmm.
Um, and then I kind of realized, I'm like approaching my 40s now, so I think entrepreneurship really resonated with me because it allows me to control it allows me to control my destiny in a sense. I can kind of, if you're working for a company, for example, there's a set wage, and the amount of
Yeah.
work that you put in doesn't necessarily reflect how much you
True.
earn or where you go with it, you see. So entrepreneurship was a real sense of freedom, and I tend to get bored quite easily as well.
Okay.
So I like entrepreneurship because everything's new, everything's a challenge. You're constantly learning new things and stuff. You see, but yeah, generally before so, I really love music, so I wanted to put all my time into that.
Yeah. I mean, can you name someone who influenced you while growing up?
Yeah, I mean, my dad was a real strong influence on me. My
Yeah.
dad and my uncle, um, we they were really close friends growing up, and I had like a load of good experiences with them. They always did quite well and were really funny. And my uncle used to drive around in a on a Harley Davidson motorcycle.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I had a lot of good experiences there, and they were solid stoic figures. My dad, for example, was in the Royal Air Force. He was like, yeah, huge influence. I mean, we were very different as people, as you know, since I've grown up.
Yeah.
However, there's a lot of yeah. There's a now I'm getting older. I'm realizing I'm more like him.
Yeah. Did you fail any time?
Yeah, all the time. Yeah, I failed. I felt yeah. I mean, it's a strange one about failure, isn't it? Because there's almost like a stigma about it. You know, you kind of think it's a bad thing, and it feels bad and it hurts. But yeah, I made loads of bad decisions. Um, but I think my attitude towards failure is a lot healthier now. I think the more you fail, the more you learn. The more you
Yeah.
learn,
True.
the more you can
True. True.
improve. It actually gives you solid grounding, rather than succeeding constantly. You don't really learn much from success. In all fairness,
True.
success is
True.
more of a validating thing. So
Yep.
if you can fail at something and then succeed at something, then that's the growth there. You see, so it's like
Yep.
success after failure is really rewarding, I think.
I mean, that is the kind of mindset people who usually start companies do have. Like, failure, failure is okay. Failure is a setback, but there will be our time, and we are going to learn what we have failed, and we are going to implement it, and we're gonna, of course, we're gonna succeed. So, the more
Absolutely,
we fail, the more
yeah,
we
one hundred
learn.
percent. It's how I mean, it's more of a. It feels like a setback, and obviously, I think the thing is with any kind of trajectory of progress is that it becomes
Yep.
addictive, especially when you start something new. You start something new, you've got a good idea, you run with it, and it keeps on going up. And then you'll have a setback, and it does feel like regression. But if anything, that's more of a consolidation. It's more of a consolidation. You kind of think, right, well, okay, what have I done here? Especially if it hurts financially, you really got to sort of it causes
Yep.
pain, and that pain causes thought, and then from there, then you can improve. So um, yeah, I try I try and reframe it as much as I can, really. In all fairness,
So, yeah, it works for us. So, I mean, do successful people manage time better, or do they manage attention better?
I mean, it's a bit of a time or attention. I mean, I think they
So,
manage
I think,
attention better.
yeah,
In all fairness, I mean, time is just a metric, right? As
yeah,
where if
yeah,
you can manage your attention, then and where that attention's going, then
true,
essentially you manage your time better by managing your attention.
attention. Yeah,
Um, yeah, I mean, you could spend 8 hours a day watching, watching and like doom scrolling on your phone. That's not good management of
true.
time or attention. But I mean, if you can learn something that you were unsure of before, and then you put your attention into those kind of things, then that's the yeah. I don't know. Just from my experience, that's probably what works best. It's hard to delineate between the two, really.
Yeah, I mean, I read it somewhere that there is not enough to time enough. There is no time limit to scroll because it is endless. There is no end for it. It is infinite scrolling, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
if you wanna scroll, you can scroll all throughout your life and never
yeah,
stop.
yeah. And it's really addictive. I mean, I try to watch only stuff that I think is interesting.
Yeah,
even if I'm relaxing, then I'll tend to watch things that are interesting. I try not to watch anything that is kind of, every you know that feeling, don't you, when you kind of get stuck in that trap and you're just watching
True.
videos
True.
of some of things that give you nothing. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Like it's like watching films or like watching a comedy or something like that. You get like that's a kind of
Yeah.
you get something from that. But I think watching content is highly addictive. And the guys that run the tech businesses that at Instagram and even the YouTube algorithm, those guys know what they're doing in terms of drawing attention and revenue from ads and that kind of thing. So yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I lately I've been using an app called One Sec. I mean, they're not sponsoring this, but 1 second is an app where you can set the timer. So I set it for 10 minutes. If I am scrolling for 10 minutes, and that's it,
yeah,
it is going to stop me from scrolling.
yeah,
So
absolutely.
I
You
would
need
recommend that.
you need like an electric shock or something like that. It's
So,
but the
so
interesting thing about about YouTube and Instagram is, I think, is that um, you can watch so much of it, and like you said, it's never ending. But it's like a weird comfort thing, I think.
yeah,
But the comfort you don't grow or really learn anything from it. So it feels quite. It's not a good feeling that I get from
so, so
from watching. Like
it
I mean,
is.
like I'll typically have podcasts on in the background or something
Yeah,
like that. But yeah, I know. Like as a rule of thumb, the more I steer away from that kind of thing, the better I feel. The more I do, the better I feel about it.
yeah. The rule of thumb is that if I'm searching for something, I'm gonna watch it for hours. I mean, for me,
Yeah,
if I'm searching for something, then it is going to be absolutely which is useful for me and informative.
yeah,
So I can watch it. If I don't search and it is if it depends upon the algorithm what they want to show me, I'm not going to watch
yeah.
it. So
Yeah, absolutely. It's I think the this I mean my dad was in the Air Force, right? He was in the forces. So my dad was quite, and he'd admit this. He was quite strict. Um, you know, he would yeah, he would make sure that I don't know, kept up with time,
yeah,
well mannered, all these kind of things. And I think that's done me a huge service growing
yeah,
up. Because I think what you need more than anything these days is discipline. You need discipline around
true,
where you
true,
put your time. So yeah, I think this because social media was sort of planted on society with very little
true,
guardrails,
true,
and it completely changed the face of society. I mean, certainly in the UK, it's very very different, and I think there's an element of discipline that you need in order to get yourself off that. I mean, it's fine, come 9 o'clock if you want to watch videos or whatever and doom scroll, or I wouldn't recommend it. But do it if you do it past 9 o'clock, fine, whatever. You're not going to do anything productive for that day. But if you're using it in your productive hours,
true.
it's yeah, I try and stop that.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced burnout in while working?
Yeah, loads. I mean, so I run two businesses and I work 40 hours a week, and I have a girlfriend, and they are all demanding more attention off
True,
one another.
true.
So my job, I work as a business development manager for an EV charging company full time. Although I'm
Yeah,
looking to scale that back and you know work with Stripback, my other business, and generate revenue that way. But yeah, all the time, I feel burnt out quite a lot. But I think sometimes you've got to when you have momentum, um, it's really important that you act on that. I meditate as well, or at least I used to a lot more than I did.
yeah.
And that helps sort of calm the mind. That's more of a way that I kind of deal with it. But yeah, currently I probably work about 60, 70 hours a week. So yeah, burnout is one of those things that you feel quite regularly at the minute.
Good. I mean, the meditation might help, but yeah.
Yeah,
So
it just manages the mind, you know.
true, true. I mean, while we are at it, do you trust data more or intuition more?
I mean, intuition is data based. I would say an intuition, a gut feeling you get from, it's like a low resolution view of everything that you've seen and heard. The gut feeling is really like it's the cumulative value of what you've seen and heard. So I mean, like data's super important so that you can find yeah, data's super important as a way of, as a validator.
Yeah,
But I think the gut feeling is generally how you feel about something without, yeah, I don't know, it's a bit of a kind of how you feel about things, and you kind of know how you feel about it, but you don't necessarily know why. And that, I think, generally speaking, that's because, um, yeah,
so
I don't know. I would say like a gut feeling is almost like the human version of, um,
data.
of data. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. If you if you if you you know
It, I mean,
catch
it is
me.
just our sixth sense saying that this is going to be correct or this works out for you. But
Yeah,
we never feed the sixth sense, but somehow it knows everything. Like our subconscious mind knows what we want and where we want to get, and it actually transfers us the data when we ever need it. But it is up to us to get it or use that data. I mean, we call it intuition, but if you want to use it or not. But absolutely, data we have to go through physical data that verify it and then go through it. That is a good way and to be best way to be an entrepreneur. Like if I have to change it, if I have to make any changes to my business or to my uh, uh, content, then I will have to trust my data first than
yeah,
intuition.
yeah. That's right. That's right. You might have a feeling about something, and then you validate it with the data. Validate it with
That
the data. Yeah, for sure.
so
I think that's it. But then that, because the good thing is about a gut feeling, it's instant. You know how you feel about things, like you know how you feel about this and that, like. But then, yeah, screen
yeah.
what does the data say? Okay, cool. That's
So
probably a good thing to act on. If both things are, are
and
yeah,
what
fine.
scares you more, failure or regret?
Regret. I guess. Yeah, I mean, I don't regret a lot, really. To be fair, I mean, I've done a lot of stuff that I probably, shouldn't have done. I feel like I wasted my sort of early years, but I kind of never knew what I wanted to do, and I think I completely lacked direction.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I regret certain things like not building stronger relationships with my family members, for example. But then also, I've done a lot of cool stuff as well. Like it's weird, like not necessarily having a direction kind of suited my personality type, I think, when I was younger.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but I mean, like, say for example, I had two friends that passed recently, um, and I didn't see them before they passed. I regret not spending more time with them and putting more time into those relationships. Really, in all fairness, so I definitely regret, because the thing is with failures is that you can overcome failures. With failures, you've
True.
still got an in
True.
to solve the problem. With regret, it's finite. It's gone, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Because as an entrepreneur or as a everyday human being, like we make a lot of plans, right? But uh, we make plans, but we don't actually stick to them and try hard enough to do them. So in
Yeah,
that case, we regret. I do regret. I make a lot of plans, but sometimes I don't do it. Sometimes it doesn't work out. But most of the time, I try hard enough to do it. Sometimes it works,
yeah.
sometimes it doesn't. That's secondary.
Yeah, yeah. I think the most important thing is as well is realize that like we're all humans. We're all like we are gonna make decisions that we're not gonna make all the right decisions sometimes, and that's
True, true.
and that's fine. But I think as long as you've got the ambition to make the right decisions and the ambitions to
Yeah,
sort of to make the right decisions, then it's a numbers game. Like I work in sales, and it's a numbers game. If you
true.
make like I don't know, like if you make five attempts at a good decision, or if you make 15 attempts at a good decision, the more you try, the higher the chances of success are, right? I guess
Success.
it's
Yes.
kind of it's just
Yeah.
it's a case of metrics.
Yeah. And what does your morning routine look like?
My morning routine, so I'm an early riser. I wake up about half five, 6 o'clock. I'll go to
Mhm.
the gym with my girlfriend. I'll come back, I'll make a smoothie, and get myself sorted. And then I'd start work at 9 o'clock, but I'll jump on my laptop for about an hour. And I'll try and tick a few things off on the business side of things. I use Claude AI um, to sort of read through my emails and that kind of thing and see where I'm at with the business. I always try and start the day as positively as I can. Sort of whether or not it's the gym
Yeah.
or getting out for a walk or getting some sunlight. Try and get off on a good start, because sometimes if you don't do any of that, then you kind of start the day on the wrong footing, and that's. So yeah, I try and be as healthy as possible. Um, yeah, mornings are super super important. Healthy food, some
I
exercise.
agree. I agree. Yeah. I mean, what is that one app you hate using it, but you can't stop using it?
Oh, I mean, like, yeah, I'm not a fan of Instagram, really. I mean, it's one of those. Yeah, it's a real pain. Well, it's not a pain. It's just the way that it's engineered and stuff. I just find myself opening it and scrolling on it sometimes, and it's you just gotta shut it off. I'm pretty good at sort of realizing that I'm doing something and then cutting it out.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Also, another one as well is the government website, the HMRC government website. You try and
Okay.
do
Yeah. Yeah.
anything on that, and it's the
Yeah.
government website, so you would think that it should work fine, but it's super buggy. Everything's really it's like it's designed to make life difficult for you. So yeah, that as well.
True, true, true. I mean, I have to seriously say that when I first time opened HMRC to register my company in while I was
Yeah,
in the
right.
UK. Oh my God, it took me around 2 days to figure it out.
Yeah, it's so awkward. It's just things like, oh, okay, you want to open the app for the first time. We need to send you a letter. What, so I have to wait 5 days for a letter just to do anything? Or like if you call them, for example, it's like an hour and a half or something like that waiting times. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I set up the app Stripback,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it seems so unnecessary. It's
true,
so unnecessary complicated.
true,
So I
true.
thought I'd try and do everybody a favor.
I mean, you're gonna solve a lot of problems with that app. I'm sure people are going to use it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I got a letter that came through the post, and it was like 4 or 5 pages long, and I'm just thinking, just tell me. I mean, I understand, right? So, legal. I'm sure there's a reason why they use that language, the
Yeah,
legalese language. Like it's legal, isn't it? So that if in a court of law, it stands up, but it's just complicated, and I
yeah,
think
but you're already a business. I mean, generalizing here. So we are already busy in doing stuff, and we have to go through this 5 page or 6 page document, which even anyhow we can't even understand, even if we go through all of it. And the language is going to be uh, super in a different, super difficult to understand. Then
yeah,
what is the point of sending a mail which is 5 pages long?
yeah, of course. It's and I mean, this is already built into it, we've got this on the roadmap already. But if you're a non-native English speaking business owner in the UK,
Hmm.
which is plenty of, then I can't imagine being English not being my native language, running a
Yeah,
business and then being able to try and decipher what it's actually saying. It'd be impossible, like it'd be really, really hard. So I've got like a translator, so if it's like Hindi or Urdu or whatever, everything is
true.
translated in your native tongue, so it's a lot easier to understand. So yeah, but even as an English speaker, it's hard to understand. It's just So I just thought something's got to be done here. I would have,
Yeah,
and I
yeah,
was surprised when I did my market research that somebody already hadn't. In all fairness, I thought somebody would have caught onto it already, but I was quite happy that it wasn't.
yeah. But that is the problem with new kind of ideas, right? I mean, we know it is going to work, but until it is sure and people started using it, we are always on the edge if it works or not. Is
Yeah.
it going to work or not? Yeah. So with new ideas, this is the problem. So anyhow,
Yeah,
but
that's
if
right.
you wanna,
And people don't realize they're a problem until it's staring them in the face. And then as soon as they
true.
have that, I mean, like, imagine going back in time 20 years
Yeah,
and, having to like rewind his VCR, or having to not having Netflix, or having all
Spotify
of
and
these,
yeah,
all these privileges, or that, or all this technology around us these days, where if it was to fall apart, we wouldn't know what to do with ourselves, because we've become
true.
so dependent. But I think for something that is a real pain for people to deal with, I think it would be, hopefully it's received well anyway.
Yeah, yeah, and hopefully you will break out soon. And
Yeah, hopefully, yeah, that's the idea. I'm running with it with everything. I'm running at it with everything that I've got at the minute. So yeah,
yeah.
fingers crossed on that one, eh?
So what would your friend say? It is your weirdest habit. Did
Oh,
anyone say anything?
I've got plenty of weird habits. I don't answer my phone a lot.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I don't answer my phone a lot. Yeah. What else are my weirdest habits? I tend to eat a lot of the same food all the time.
yeah.
Um, I don't like birthdays and Christmases. I don't really like any attention.
Hmm.
Oh,
That,
I've got plenty of quirks. Yeah, I don't like receiving things like gifts or anything like that.
yeah, yeah,
Um, I would say quite a um, contrarian. Like a contrarian is somebody who sort of like prefers the opposite, right?
yeah, yeah.
Sometimes just for the sake of it. So yeah, plenty of weird habits. I think I have ADD as well, like attention deficit disorder. So
Okay.
I find it really hard to pay attention to stuff that I'm not interested in. Like if I'm not engaged in it, it's really, really hard to
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
to stay on task sometimes.
yeah. And if you have unlimited amounts of money, let's say you have unlimited amount of money, there is infinite amount of money, and you have 1 year to spend and 1 year to go places that you wanna visit, what would they be?
Um, I mean, the countries like I've always wanted to. I mean, I'd like to go to India. I've been to Nepal. I did the Annapurna circuit in Nepal. Really like. I'd love to go to India, Sri Lanka, Russia. I mean, I'd love to have gone to Russia, but obviously you know, that's not a possibility at the minute. I really like going to unusual, interesting places, because I think
Yeah,
you see more of the world that way, rather than just in the prism of um, yeah, I don't know. Finding places out for yourself, that's why I like to do that a lot. I really enjoy music, and I DJ, and
yeah.
I think if I could have, I don't know. I'm not sure if you or your viewers are familiar with the term third space. So obviously you've got your home, which is the first space, your workplace, which is the second space, and then you've
Yeah,
got your
yeah, yeah,
third place, and that's like pubs, restaurants,
yeah, yeah,
people, the places where people gather. And
yep,
I feel like I really like electronic music or anything that is like non-commercial, really.
true.
So I would like to make. I've always, but it's been on my mind for a while that I'd like to have like a not like a listening room, but like a somewhere that's social where people can come and play records and build somewhere where people can meet and enjoy each other's company. That's something that I'd really like to do.
Yeah, maybe that would be a great idea too, as a business, hopefully.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily for money, like financially, but I think it would be really rewarding. My girlfriend's a fantastic cook, and she really wants to make. She'd like to make food for
Yeah.
people. I think she's really good at it. So maybe that's something that we can do in the future.
So yeah, next time when you wanna go for a vacation, obviously you're going to come to India next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. I've meant to go to India. I was meant to fly from Kathmandu to
Yep.
Delhi,
Yep.
and I went out for a bite to eat one morning, and I was stroking this dog, and the dog was a street dog, and he's bit me on the hand,
Oh,
and I
okay.
didn't see
That's
that he'd like cut my skin at all, but I wasn't sure whether or not he had I'm not sure if it had might have had rabies or something like that, which is the case with like street animals and that kind of stuff. So I was like, all right, okay, this is probably a good time just to call it. But I've been meaning to go to India for ages. My girlfriend's been to Goa and a few other places.
yep.
I almost went last a couple of years ago, actually, to be fair. But yeah, India is definitely on the cards, and I think there's a great sense of mystique with India. Uh, you know, beautiful
Yep.
country, rich food, and interesting religions as well.
True, 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 true. I mean, a lot of religions over here. So, uh, you
Yeah,
come whenever you decide to come. You just fly, and we're gonna meet, and let's go wherever you wanna go, and I will take you to
yeah,
places. Yep.
perfect, mate. Yeah, appreciated.
So, and at what point did you realize businesses are spending too much time figuring out this bureaucracy instead of building their own companies? Like, let's say I have a company, and instead of me focusing on my company, I'm dealing too much endlessly on the bureaucracy side and compliances side. So, uh, did you ever? I mean, at what point did you think? Because if you wouldn't think, you wouldn't have started, right? So, what point? What made you think that?
Well, I point back to that message a moment ago when I read that page, like when I had that letter come through, and it was 6 pages long, and I was thinking, God, like, so it was a business letter actually, and they were
Yeah.
saying that I would be fined if I think it was £1,000 or something like that, if I didn't submit this document, and I thought that was the inception, I think. That I kind of thought, well, why is it so busy? Surely it doesn't have to be that way. And that's basically that's what caused my market research. And that's when I started digging a little deeper. Um, but I've got friends who are tradies,
Yeah.
and I know that the Labour government has put in lots of red tape. At the moment, the government's put in lots of red tape and regulation and that kind of thing. I mean, it's just a tripwire to trip people up a lot of the time, I think, and just a reason to generate revenue from fines, or as that's it. I mean,
True.
that's the way it seems anyway. It seems that the government is like that all the time. So, but yeah, since I've done more digging around, I mean, I think in property especially, there's a load of new legislation that's come out, like with a Section 21 where you get a £40,000 fine if you don't comply. So I think a lot of people, yeah, there's no centralised point of information for this, and I think there should be. You know.
Yeah. I mean, I have to share my experience in the same way that when I started my company in the UK for the first time, and I have to apply for VAT, right?
Yeah.
I applied it online, and then I received a letter stating that I have to pay. around 1,024 pounds. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah. Why?
I don't
So
know
it's a
why.
rule.
And
It's not even justified. That's the problem, right? So I don't know what the justification is for it. It's like, right, give us £1,024. It's like, how are you justifying that? That's a lot. That's a lot of
yeah,
money, Like that's, I don't know, maybe 2 months worth of savings or something like that potentially. If you're saving what on average, what £500 a month, you just got to pay £1,000. It's just
kind of, yeah.
doesn't
But I
doesn't
don't know. I never
seem.
paid it, but I
Yeah,
never
yeah.
paid it.
Well, but plenty do.
Yeah,
A
they
lot of
plenty
people
do.
do.
They plenty do.
Yeah.
Nothing
I know. I
happened to
know
me.
for like immigration and stuff. One of my COO,
Yeah.
chief of operations, he had to spend I don't know, it's at least a couple of £1,000 just on applying for an immigration status, and yeah, it's just a way of getting money, isn't it? I think that's literally
So,
it.
so, so. I mean, I used to pay around 3 grand, 3 grand for applying for visa, and then
Yeah,
additional 3 grand for health, NHS. So
yeah. So sorry, 3 grand for a visa and 3 grand for
NHS,
NHS. Yeah, it's
it's just
mental.
mad, mad.
Yeah, but it is what it is, and I don't think it's going to change. So I think the only
Yeah,
thing that
it
you
is.
can do is increase the visibility of these regulations that are coming through, so that people are in the know about it.
True,
You know,
true. Yeah,
because I think it's one thing, but actually being fined, I think fearing being fined as well causes a whole other layer of anxiety of itself.
that was end of segment one, right? And now we are moving into game section. We have three games. They are not like games, but they are more or less like a rapid fire. I will ask you a
Yeah.
question.
Okay.
I mean, I will
Yep.
ask you a scenario, and then you have to say if you comply or pay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Sure. Yeah.
And this is like game one, and I have around four to five scenarios in this. You have to say if you comply or you have to pay. Yeah. So let's say your contract certificate has expired. What would you do? Would you comply or would you pay?
I would comply.
Yeah. And tax filing delayed.
Tax filing delayed. I would comply.
Safety inspection missed.
Comply.
Uh, that's it. And we are going to game two now. And I will same again. I will give you few scenarios. I mean, few opportunities that you can create or you can pass it for someone else, right? And if you can build an AI for AI lawyer, would you build or would you pass?
I think I would build it. Yeah. I, yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
maybe your next project will be on AI lawyer.
Yeah. Maybe.
So you're already half accountant now, right? What about AI accountant?
And AI. I mean, I think there's QuickBooks and that kind of thing
Yeah,
now, isn't
it is.
there? I think.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So an AI accountant. I mean, yeah. So it's all logic. It's all logic, isn't it? I think logic and rule based. Yeah. So I'd have a go at that. Absolutely.
So yeah, why not? It is like an natural extension to what you're doing, right? So
Yeah. 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 That's right.
what about AI CEO? So that you don't have to do anything.
So I've got an AI head of growth at the moment.
Yeah,
Um, so that's in control of. I mean, yeah. So it's pretty good. I mean, as long as the guardrails are there and it knows what to do and what to look out for, I would probably see. I'm not sure AI is quite there in terms of
managing
directing
company.
itself, so to
Yeah,
speak. It's
yeah,
it's it's really good with data
yeah.
and automation. So maybe not AI CEO, but who knows? With AGI around the corner,
Maybe,
I think Elon Musk was saying it's what, three
maybe
years away or something like that.
10 years away, I
Potentially.
guess. No, now AI chief of staff.
So with the cheat again, it's that sort of decision making based on logic, isn't it? I mean, I
True.
think I'd
Pass.
pass. Yeah, maybe.
So this is interesting. What about AI government assistant?
Yeah, I think it could. Yeah, I mean, I hope HMRC employ it at some point.
So anyway, they are so
um,
slow, super slow.
I mean, it depends. It depends on on what it is.
Yeah.
But I mean, you know, it would be a great. Yeah, it would be great. I mean, like, so a lot of that AI, like Claude, for example, works on MCPs. You see, so it's just how different software entities essentially connect. It's the bridge between
True.
the two. Yeah, I mean, I'd absolutely love it if it came out for sure.
Yeah.
I think it would save a lot of people a lot of time and effort and stress.
Yeah. It would be good if we have AI firefighters and
Yeah,
AI
yeah. Who knows?
ambulances.
Who, yeah, yeah. Potentially. I mean, my girlfriend works in care as well, and you know,
Okay.
they. Bearing in mind that I've never, you know, AI is just yeah, just a simulation of a personality. I think it's got it's come a long way in terms of the way that
True.
it interacts with you. It's become
True.
more and more personable, and I think if it, yeah, it's kind of you could it's strange. You can kind of speak to it like a friend these days. It's amazing what you can
Yeah,
do with
yeah,
it.
yeah. I mean, it come a long way since 3 years.
Oh, absolutely, yeah,
And now in game three, let's say you're in 2035 right now.
yeah.
Okay. And you have to look at the, I mean, let's say you are in 2035 and you have to answer it. Will it, is it true or false? Or will it be true or false in 2035? Okay.
Okay,
Let's say
yeah.
all the government forms just disappeared. Everything is,
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I would have thought so. Yeah, highly, 90% chance, 100% chance of that. I would have thought.
and businesses have AI employees.
I think we're already there now with
Yeah,
agents and that kind of thing. Yeah, definitely.
we are, I mean, almost there, but not 100%. But
Not 100% there, but we'll go a few years off, I think.
no one reads legal documents manually anymore. True or false?
Yeah, I mean yeah, that's what Stripback's there for, you know, to sort
That's
of cut
good.
it all back.
So
So yeah, hopefully
even
I
this
can
is,
hope out there.
yeah, it is not 2035 and you're already there. I can imagine
Yeah,
in
yeah, I'm trying to
2035.
help with that one.
I can imagine in 2035 all the small businesses and all the people in the world are going to use your app.
Yeah, well, hopefully, or even with just with anything like, you know, obviously there's a like, you know, like large business element with this, but I mean, ultimately, you're trying to sort of create the change that you want to see. You know, like
True,
it was kind of the drive for doing it was driven out of a pain point that I experienced. So
true, true,
I
true.
can't imagine what it's like for some business owners that are heavily exposed to compliance and they get fines for it and that kind of thing. Yeah, for sure,
I mean,
definitely, yeah.
especially in the e-commerce era, right? There are only
Yeah,
solo entrepreneurs. They don't have any team. He is going alone. So, in that situation, your app will be his best friend.
yeah, yeah. I do. Yeah, it's just anybody, it's any business owner that, you know. Say for example, if you're in hospitality. I mean, with hospitality, it's quite different. We've got a few different tools for that.
Yeah,
But you know, it's like things are making sure like you know the kitchens are checked off, that the health and safety is all there for you. You know, it's just sometimes it's the anxiety of are we covered? Um, is a real thing. And I think if people don't stress about that kind of thing, they can actually focus on you know on the important stuff. You know, keeping customers happy That's really where a
True.
business's interest
True.
should be, attention should be focused in terms of generating more revenue for themselves. So
And then,
yeah, the compliance is a bit of a nag, isn't it? It's a bit of a pain. Obviously, it's completely necessary to make sure businesses um, adhere to health and safety and that kind of thing, but it can certainly be easier for them.
do you see companies hiring fewer administrators in 2035?
Yeah, absolutely. I think all administration a lot of customer service jobs will be out 100%. One of the main driving forces of why I started the business is because I don't know where my job's going to be in the next couple of years. So I think AI is really kind of, I mean, it's an amazing tool, and it essentially facilitates anybody with a good idea to go and start their own business. Um, I think you're going to see a lot of change in the next 10 years because no longer are you relying on conglomerates, big businesses, to make these changes. It can be, you know, somebody like myself or anybody with an idea that solves a real world problem.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think administrating jobs will almost be like how you know how you see like mill jobs and manual labor jobs were 100, 200 years ago. I think a
True.
lot of that will be gone,
True.
and hopefully those people can do something more rewarding in
Yeah,
its, you know, in its absence.
but with any kind of technology, we just have to adopt it. There is no option,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's right, that's right. And don't get me wrong, there are going to be job losses and that kind of thing, but yeah, and you do have to position yourself. You know, those you can't rely on their jobs being there. So I think we need to kind of take things into our own hands and create our own opportunities more. I think.
True. True. Yeah. Now we enter into segment two. This is more about your company, right? What you're
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
Yeah. Let's go through it now. So, why are businesses still struggle with compliance in 2026?
I think there's a lack of visibility and a lack of centralization with compliance. It seems to be really scattered. I mean, you know, some people are more organized and equipped than others, but I think um, there's more and more regulation coming out,
True.
and those regulations are backed by penalties.
True.
So my understanding is that they're struggling with it because a lot of the time they're not sure what they're exposed to, and also um, compiling where these compliance issues, there's a lack of a space for compliance to sit, where it's where it's easy to digest and actionable.
I feel like there are too many compliances just for the government to extract lot money from us. I don't know how
Yeah,
you feel, but this is how I feel.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, they need to enforce rules somehow, but I think, and I get that. I'm not taking anything away from that, but I think in terms of making them understandable, uh, and you know the fact that they're so scattered, and it's just I think it's a lack of tools that enable people to keep it all in one place.
True. True. And are government systems becoming more complex or are businesses becoming busier? What do you see? Is government getting more complex or businesses are going busier so that your solution can help?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely seems that more. I honestly couldn't answer whether or not the government systems are becoming more complex. I mean, you would think that there's more rules and regulations these days,
True.
and that obviously adds an element of complexity. Um, it's a tough one, really. There's
True.
probably
I mean,
more to handle.
true. I mean,
Um,
yeah,
there's probably more going on, more to handle, and I think with with so many distractions and so on, it's probably getting harder to manage in a strange way. You would have thought that it would have gone the other way, really.
yeah, yeah. Why? I mean, we already gone through this, but why are government letters are still difficult to understand for everyone, not just for us, and but also, I when I was in England, I spoke to a lot of natives as well. So I asked them, can you understand what this means? And they couldn't figure out what it actually means.
Yeah, I think the government letters are difficult to understand because they are because I think it's written in what's called like legalese, right? Which isn't
Yeah,
you'd never speak to somebody in the way that a government letter speaks to you,
true.
but it's written in such a way that like a lawyer or a solicitor, as we call them in England,
Yeah,
um, it's like legally binding. It's worded in a clever way so that um, so primarily for the reasons of laws and legalities and that kind of thing.
yeah.
But
The-
I don't think there's any reason why it can't be easier to understand,
I
and
mean, do you feel
that's
like,
the thing.
sorry, yeah, do you feel like it is a kind of deception?
If so, I do. Yeah. So with me, I don't know. It's one of those things, right? You can't necessarily point at them and say this is the reason why they're difficult to understand. But it
True,
certainly feels like it. You
true,
know,
true.
like when you get hit with a a fine or if you tripped up. I mean, we're all human. We all
Yeah,
let something slip every now and again.
yeah,
It certainly feels like they're difficult to understand for their for their benefit. Because if you can't understand it, then you can't abide by it,
yeah.
and
But
it certainly makes it really tricky to follow. So I certainly feel like there's too much red tape.
true, true. But
Um,
that's actually good for you because you already got a solution for it.
Yeah, absolutely it is. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, for sure. I mean, I want to solve I want to solve the problem either way, whether the government does it or or I'll do it for them. But it would be nice to see a bit more um,
yeah. What
simplicity.
is the sorry? What is the real cost of ignoring a compliance?
What's the cost of ignoring compliance? I mean, I think a section one is 40,000. I think it is. So yeah, it's there's some, especially in things like health and safety,
Yeah,
which is going to be an avenue that we're going to be looking into really shortly, and currently getting data on that. But I mean, yeah, there's compliance is absolutely huge. Um, so it could be in the hundreds of thousands potentially.
true.
And for big corporations, when they slip up as well, it is in the
Yeah.
hundred thousands, millions. Um, so it's really important that everybody understands where they stand and what they need to do.
I mean, why do you have? I mean, why was this problem worth dedicating lots of years of your life?
Yeah, I mean, so it's quite rare that you have an idea that you think could really make a difference. Um, and I think, yeah, I think I think as you get older, you want to know what you can hold to your name,
True,
and what difference you've made.
true,
And this certainly isn't a problem that I saw myself attempting to solve,
true.
but it's something that I would be proud of myself if I were to do it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because
I
it
feel
affects
same.
everybody.
I
It
feel same.
affects everybody.
Yeah,
Well, if you look at the UK government at the minute, it's so anti-business, and I think there's a real sentiment that things are just difficult for the sake of it.
true,
So
true.
I'd like to I'd like to solve that problem for people. It's rare that you can do something in life that touches everybody, you know,
True. True.
like a for the common good. So this is my opportunity.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I just feel like, let's say, imagine I am around 50 years old, 50 or 60 years old. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I have a company. I started a company with lots of money poured into it, and I love doing this company business. But unfortunately, uh, due to some compliances, my company got shut and all my money got frozen.
yeah,
So now what happens if I'm 60 and all my money got frozen, then I would be homeless, and I mean, absolutely not in that sense, but I would be broke, right? So
yeah,
in that case, everyone will lose their heart and mind. They don't know what to do. They don't know what to choose, right?
yeah,
In that case, your company is going to be a barrier between not happening that, and
yeah,
I envision your company to be a barrier, to be a gate, barrier, which does not allow government to shut my company when I'm using your product, um, because
yeah.
I know what to do.
Yeah, I mean, what it will do is, I mean, it will go. It's not a magic wand. It won't do away with any of these compliance certificates. Ultimately, if you mess up and the government come down heavy on you and they take all your money away from you, that's
True,
just the way it is. However, I
true.
guess there's a question around: do you know? Were you aware that you could have the money to that you could be fined so much, and were you aware that this was the regulation that you've got to behold?
Yeah,
So I think it's all more about making things making things easier to understand,
yeah,
essentially,
yeah, yeah.
um, which would allow you to see what you were doing wrong before it happened.
True, true. I mean, did you? How many people? Did you say this to any other people? Like, how many people did you speak about it? And when you speak to someone about this, and did anyone say that it is not a big problem, or your solution is not that big enough?
No, no, it's funny. So I mean, I mean, people that I've spoken to in person, I've maybe told I've got a pretty close but small circle of friends these days. But everybody, I've spoke to my dad about it.
Mm,
My dad's a pretty, really reasonable guy. He's very sensible, and he's got his head screwed on.
mm,
So I told my dad about it. He thought it was a really good idea.
yeah,
Um, I haven't told too many people. I mean, I'm quite a private person anyway, so I've not really told too many people about it, other than the ones that I've communicated with,
yeah,
like sort of outreach and that kind of thing. But everybody that I've spoken with, I respect their opinion on things, and I think it's a really good idea. So
yeah,
yeah, this is it. I think my friend told his mom the other day, and she's a business owner,
yeah,
and she said, "Oh yeah, no, I can completely understand how that would be how that would be beneficial, and that people would pay for it." So yeah, I've had some really positive feedback.
good, good. Congrats for it. I mean, can you explain strip back for a 2-year-old kid?
Yeah, sure. So yeah, to a 12-year-old, I would say when you open a business, when you run a business, there's lots of rules that you need to make sure that you stick to.
Yeah.
And the yeah, yeah, there's lots of rules that you would need to stick to. If you don't stick to these rules, then it costs lots of money.
Mm-hmm.
And what Stripback does is it takes into consideration all these rules and puts them in one place, strips it back into plain English so that you can
Yeah.
understand it more easily, so that you don't get fined.
Yeah. And walk us through a life of a customer using strip back.
So say for example you're a bakery owner,
Yeah.
and there's lots of new rules and regulations coming into place this year.
Okay.
So obviously, you've got to run the business. You've got to make sure you're producing the product. You've also got to make sure that you meet all the health and safety standards. There's lots of rules and regulations that need to be that are running around in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of things that could trip you up financially or reputation wise.
Yeah.
So if a customer's unsure or unsure of where they stand on the certificates or the legislation, they open the app, they get a letter, what's called a morning letter, first thing, 2 to 3 paragraphs, plain English, written as a
Yep.
personalised letter to you, which allows you to understand just from opening the app where you stand with it. If there's nothing that you've got to, if there's nothing that is urgent or for your attention, you can put the phone down. If there is anything that you've got to pay attention to, we're
Mm-hmm.
working on creating a what to do list, which
Okay.
highlights the steps that you need to make in order to make sure that you're compliant.
So, I mean, did you develop this, or did you do you have a team to develop it?
Oh, it's just me.
Nice work, man.
Yeah, it's just me.
I
So the I use yeah, it's just me. I yeah, it's been it's been very fast moving, but it's I've had input from people, but
Mhm.
in terms of the product build, the website build, the marketing, and all that kind of stuff, that's all me.
That's good. That's good. I mean, I've been through your website. I've gone through your website, and it looks absolutely stunning. It is good. Good luck.
Thank you. Yeah,
Congrats.
no, I appreciate it. Yeah, and it's good to hear. To be when I saw that you'd reached out to me yesterday, actually, in all fairness, I the first thing I thought it would be, yeah, it's really great to speak to you and so on. But I think it's a litmus test that people think it's a good idea. For that's the most important thing. That's
Yeah,
really good.
yeah,
That's really good feedback. So
yeah,
yeah, I
yeah,
really appreciate you reaching out.
yeah. I mean, it is. I'm an early stage founder, right? So I've been rejected. I mean, in India, we have Startup India, like government gives us seed fund for our research and research purposes. So I recently, a few months back, I got rejected. Then for that, for I mean, for seed funds, I got rejected. So I thought I was a bit upset, but I thought there are so many people like us who are in early stages and they need support, not just
Yeah,
financially, but if they have any product, they have to evaluate their products, right? So I'm creating a group community. So this is a part of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
and that's something that you're building at the moment. Yeah.
yeah. I'm building like a community, and this is free anyway. I'm not charging anyone anyway. So
Hmm. Yeah, it's
so that
great.
it
Yeah, and what was your reason for wanting to create that then in that case? Is it like was it what was the driving force?
because in India entrepreneurship, I mean, we need entrepreneurs in India, not just in India, in everywhere. Same within
Yeah,
the UK as well, right? Company usually runs with entrepreneurs, and in these kind of days, the entrepreneurs are currently first generation ones, right?
yeah,
My dad is not an entrepreneur and no one in my family is an entrepreneur, so I have to learn everything on my own, and
yeah,
I have to research and everything on my own. If I am building a product, right, and I have to validate that product. How will I know if people like it and people are going to use that product what I'm building?
yeah,
So there is no place to do that, and if you have to go, you have to reach out manually. Is the Reaching out manually is the best way, and it is going to take a lot of time, right? For
yeah,
that purposes, we actually building a community where you can to come out, join our community, where we will be holding uh, a community meetup every once in a month or once in 2 months, depending upon
yeah,
the people who's joining, and then they can showcase whatever they are building, and there will be people who can pay you, can be a paid first users, and they can give you
yeah,
valuable feedback so that you can learn and iterate as quickly as possible, because starting a business is one thing, and but starting business which people love and use is another thing, right?
yeah,
So
absolutely, yeah. I think it's a really great idea. I mean, I think testing is so important, and that validation is so important. So I think if you could create like a hub where users test, people can
yeah,
test products. I think that's it. Like it's so important, and like you said, it's really time consuming reaching out to people independently and getting them to use your app,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know, or getting
yeah.
them to use your product. So yeah, good luck with that. I think it's great. It's
Thank you. Anyway, sorry for the digress. I
that's all right.
I have few more things to go through. So How does Stripback chase contractors automatically?
So when you go into the tracker, what you'll do is
Yeah.
you'll set, they're called reminders, right? Which is essentially, so what you do is you open reminders, you create a reminder in there. Say for example, it could be like a gas renewal form or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
What you do then is you set the date that it's due, and then
Mm-hmm.
that will then log as a reminder, okay? And it's all in date order. What you do then is you click into the reminder, and there's an option to put the auto chaser. So you click auto chaser, that brings you in, and then what you do is you put the name of the tradesman and his email address and
Mm-hmm.
mobile number in there, and then you arm it. And then what that will, so basically what happens is like, so your fire safety certificate, say for example, if you've
Yeah.
got 12 months on a fire safety certificate, it means when your
Mm-hmm.
safety certificate is up for renewal, your customers will
Yep.
automatically be, your tradesman will automatically be contacted, so that he's in the loop with it. And then what they can do is once they conduct the survey to give you that certificate,
Yep.
what they'll do is they will then upload that to Stripback, which will then log the certificate in the user's account, so that they don't have to be involved with anything clerical or the actual paperwork itself. That's all logged on there, you see. So the idea is that it takes all the friction away from the customer.
True. Amazing. Amazing. I mean, how do you simplify this complex government language?
How do we simplify complex government language? So that's done by a three-tier AI system. So essentially, what it will do is it will scrape, say for example, a .gov.uk website.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Essentially, what the app is doing is it will find out, and this is all on the onboarding. It will find out what niche you're in, whether or not it's trades, hospitality,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will find out what niche you're in as well. So whether or not it could be like, say, for example, if it was properties, it would be a HMO or private rental or somewhere like that.
True. True.
So it's got that information there, right? Okay, and it uses that as a filter. So essentially, what the AI will do is it will go onto the .gov website, read the information, and then it will filter it through the
Mm-hmm.
customer type,
Mm-hmm.
and then it will then put that information in front of the customer. So essentially what it's saying is the information goes in, and then it validates through a few points, what niche the customer's in, how many properties they've got, and that kind of thing, which will determine what that customer needs to know. It then um, translates that from
Mm-hmm.
legal speak into plain English, and then it will validate on top of it again to make sure that it's not hallucinating and that the information is clear and concise.
Yeah. So, I mean, uh, what is the position of startups in UK like? I mean, how are they? Does government
Um,
support give any funds or?
no, it's really hard. I mean, the general sentiment at the moment is that the UK is quite anti business at the moment. I mean, they proclaim that they are creating growth and this kind of thing, but generally speaking, people find that the taxes are extremely high for businesses. And yeah, it's quite a hostile environment. I mean, I'm sure there's worse places to start businesses, absolutely. But however, it feels quite punitive at the minute.
True.
So yeah, so the people are up against a lot, not just in terms of taxes, but of course compliance, and people don't have as much disposable income as they used to as well. So it's super competitive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what metrics does matter most for you?
What metrics?
Yep.
Yeah, I would say at this stage, I mean, customer satisfaction is like a huge metric at the moment because it essentially steers the
Mm-hmm.
direction that the company's going in its kind of early stages. Um, because
Yep.
it's a SaaS business, the overheads aren't huge. So for me at the moment, I think customer satisfaction and obviously profit are the main metrics for me. But yeah, I would probably say customer satisfaction at this stage, purely because of its impact on the way that the business operates, and the way that the business interacts with the customer.
So I have a strange question: that will government eventually communicate with businesses through AI?
Will the government? Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm kind of puzzled that it doesn't already. Really, in all fairness, um, I mean, it depends on through what method, really, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Um, I wouldn't be surprised in the future if if everybody has um, their own personal agent, and that agent then receives
Handles everything.
um, receives information from the government, and they know exactly where they stand with everything in their life. I think that seems like a reasonable direction for society to go in,
So how do you see Stripback evolving in 10 years from now?
and that kind of thing. However, there's a Sentinel model that's coming out at the moment. So essentially, what it is compliance will tell you what you need to know in order to get in order to avoid getting fined. Sentinel. Yeah. Okay. Sure. So in 10 years, I would like Stripback to be involved in all areas of complexity, compliance complexity, providing a breakdown of what people need to do, what people need to understand, and what people need to, and how, what actions people need to make in order to mitigate fines and unnecessary um, financial heartbreak and headache.
Yep.
Also, we are well, I'm currently sorry, Stripback operates on two tiers at the moment. We're bringing a third tier out. So the compliance tier will basically tell you what you need to do and how you need to act.
Mm-hmm.
And the Sentinel option essentially will be more focused on what you can benefit from, what grants, what incentives are out there, so that you can take advantage of it. Things like tax breaks, and that kind of thing.
And do you see? I mean, would you envision yourself to be in present in another countries as well?
I mean, yeah, I'd certainly like to be. I mean, I'm sure it's not a one country problem at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, absolutely. It's all over the place. So yeah, I mean, it's not something at this stage I've necessarily thought about, but yeah, absolutely, I would. I, it's quite. I don't think. Yeah. I mean, obviously the regulation is different. Of course it is, and the laws change, but the framework's the same.
True. True. True.
Um, uh, yeah.
True. So let's say if someone want to, someone someone want to partner with you in India. So what do they have to do?
So if they wanted to partner with me in India, I mean, we'd have to have that conversation, decide, get an idea of the legal framework and that kind of thing, and then yeah, we'd work together on that to build. The app is already there, obviously, so it
Yeah.
would be a simple. There
Retrain
would
it.
obviously be legalities and setting up a business over there, but
True.
I think it'd be pretty quick to start up and run.
Good.
Just be a
Yeah.
case of marketing. The product's already there.
Yeah. 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 You just have to. I think you just have to recode it or retrain it again. So
Yeah, that's right. That's
the
right. It
client.
is the framework is the main thing, and
True.
I think that's the most valuable part. The
Yeah.
rest is just data and aggregating it.
True. True. And if you could have dinner with anyone alive, who would it be? I
I
mean,
think
obviously
I
not
mean
family.
obviously it's a if I could have dinner with anybody at the minute, I think there's only one person. I think the richest guy on the planet, and I know that he's polarizing figure,
Yeah.
but I think he'll be who people are talking about 300, 400, 500 years down the line, and it's Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Um, I think he would be like I said. I think politically he's quite polarizing, but I think he's very interesting guy, a guy with big visions, and he knows how to make it work. So yeah, he's yeah, all the power to him. I think he's doing a great job in terms of pushing
Perfect.
humanity forward.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and there will be a lot of opportunities to learn from if you ever take it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel like every interaction should bring some value towards us, and we have to learn something from them. So that is
Yeah,
just
absolutely.
my kind of way to think.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
What do you think will be the most massively important over next decade? What skills will be so much important?
Um, skills. I mean, the thing it's at this stage, it's really hard to sort of get an idea of just how far AI will go and the jobs that it will overtake. But I think it's like it'll be the age of ideas
Hmm.
next. I think if you've got an idea, then you can. I mean, even like 2, 3 years ago, I couldn't have done any of this. And essentially, what AI has done is it's allowed me as somebody with no te- um, technical know-how in terms of coding or anything like that. I mean, I know a bit of coding, but I wouldn't have been able to do anything like this without,
Yeah.
with the help of AI and so on. So I think ideas, essentially what AI has done is it's broken down um, the requirement for skilled workers in many different fields, whether or not it's accounting
True.
or market researchers. Um,
Doctor.
Coding. It's really make it's yeah, essentially it's making a lot of these roles redundant, and you can create a startup and you can run with it, and you can run with a great idea and have a fully working product in a very short period of time,
True.
which would normally cost you in the hundreds of thousands of pounds in order to put together. Now you
True.
can do it for a £90 a month subscription.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it'd be. I think the age of the sort of age of administrative jobs, even research jobs, and we're currently going through another technological revolution at the moment, um, which are destabilizing, and they
Hmm.
always are. Um, but essentially, it is becoming easier and easier now to have a good idea and for it to materialize
Yeah. Gotcha.
for
And
for
yeah.
for much less effort. I'm not saying that it doesn't take effort to do these things, but it's a lot easier than it ever has been before.
Yeah. Yeah. And I have lost last couple of questions more. So
Yeah.
they are kind of easy. Don't worry too much about them. So if you could
Y-
put one sentence on every entrepreneur's walls, what would it say?
just keep
Only
going.
yeah, that's it.
It's probably it's probably not that poignant, but I think so many people have good ideas and then run with them, and then and then life takes over. It doesn't
True.
matter if you're 5 minutes in front of the computer, whether or not you're 5 minutes, handling business things, or if it's 4 or 5 hours a day. It really doesn't matter. I think just keep going.
Yeah.
I used to really enjoy bodybuilding training, and in fact, for years I was completely obsessed with it. Probably for about 10 years in my sort of late teens, early 20s, and I didn't skip. I didn't skip meals. I didn't skip gym sessions, and I always put full effort into it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, I was able to make a lot of progress with that. So I think continuity and um, small steps lead a long way in the long run.
True. 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 So let's say if your grandchildren watch this podcast one day, what lessons do you hope they remember about how you lived, and how do you want them to be lived?
How do I want them to believe?
Yeah. I mean, not live. How do you want them to live? Live like someone who is
Yeah.
working for someone, or although it is not bad, working for someone, or who is building on something on himself, or how do you want
Mm.
your grandchildren to live like?
Yeah, I think that hard work, success, and accomplishment is something that can never be bought.
Yeah,
I think I would like them to work hard and to do things that they're passionate about.
true. Yeah,
That is a challenge that they never thought that they would be able to accomplish. Um, I'm like a full advocate for for working hard and perseverance. Nothing in life comes easy, and
yeah,
I
yeah.
think in today's day and age, that is more of a testament. I mean, we're so comfortable, but I think there's a lot of unhappiness in the world.
True.
So I think, like, yeah, find something that you're passionate in, work hard at it, and everything else will fall into place.
Amazing. And as a closing note, do you want to say something to your uh, future customers?
Um, I would say, if you feel that your day-to-day life is complicated and more complicated than it needs to be, if you're worried about fines, certifications, regulations, and not knowing what to do, our competitors are charging £200 a month, and they provide you with a PDF. We do all of that from as little as £9.99. So if you're stressed out with compliance and regulation, give Stripback a try, and I'm sure we can make your life easier for you.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck with that. And I will leave your website in my comment section below. And if someone want to talk to you, I will leave your LinkedIn as well. Yep.
Yeah, that's perfect, mate. Yeah, well, thanks for having me on anyway. I wish you all the best with the with the podcast and all that kind of stuff and your
Yep.
business. And
Thanks.
we'll speak again shortly, no doubt.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. And next time when you come to India, bring your family all over here. And
Yeah, I'm
bring.
meant to be going next year. Whereabouts are you then?
So I'm actually from South India, so like Hyderabad. I'm from Telangana.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. If I'm about, I'll head down for
Yeah,
sure.
ping me.
I'm meant to be in Delhi actually next. I think it's next July for a
Okay.
friend's wedding. So he married an Indian girl. So
Oh,
yeah,
lucky
if
boy.
I'm about and you're not too far away and I've got some time, I'll come over and see you.
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you catch flight, it is only 1 hour, 2 hours, I guess. But
Yeah, 1 hour,
if you
2 hours
catch
from Delhi, is
training,
it? Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I'd
just
I'd
two
love
hours.
to go to India. Honestly, I've wanted to go for absolutely ages, and it's always been one of those places where something has come up where it's like, right, okay, or I've been traveling for too long, and I think India deserves its own
So
6 months to go around. I mean,
yeah,
You got Rajasthan and all these amazing places.
lot of places, man.
Yeah, so
Lots of
at
places.
some point I'll come for sure.
Yep. And good luck with your venture. And
Yeah, thanks, mate.
hopefully, I will see you in person some other day in India.
Yeah, for sure. Look after yourself, mate. I'll see you
And
later.
see you later.
Cheers, buddy. Bye.